What I'm so proud to do at Hologic is we work and provide minimally invasive surgical solutions. So we have them monthly, by the way. They typically start between 12 and 14, and yet no one in 5th grade health class taught us what a normal period was. We get to experience it for years and years, and then from that, have children. Maybe they get worse, maybe they get better, and just quietly go through what we think is our normal. But to help you, really simply, I'm gonna show you what normal looks like. Okay, so Kira's demonstrating what 80 cc's of blood loss should look like. If you're bleeding more than what looks like 2 shots over your week-long period, it's too much.
What?
Thank you. Girlfriends, some of us are doing this in a day.
Wait.
Some of this, people do this in an hour.
Wait, what?
Yes.
In a week?
In a week. This is what normal is, as clinically defined by our medical institutions and doctors. Normal. If you're bleeding more than this, talk to your doctor.
See them the bad people.
If you're bleeding more than this, come take our symptoms quiz.
Yeah.
Learn more about what your period is, because this is normal. And for what I can tell by the crowd, we've got some abnormal going on. Yes. Thank you so much. Of course. So 1 in 3 women will have an abnormal period. My ask is that you help the women in your lives get educated, aware of these symptoms. We care about the whole woman. We want to make her better, and we want to make sure that she knows there's a lot of things we can do to help minimize that poor quality of life. For us, quality of life is just as important.
Thank you so much for that. Next up, my darling friends. This is so good. I think a lot of us think we know the people that we see on TV. We know the people that we watch in our favorite sports. We think that we know them because we see them for a game or a match at a time. And oftentimes, again, just because they carry it well doesn't mean it isn't heavy. And giving even the strongest of us permission to be able to share what's going on so they can move us forward and help others. This is a complete honor and a privilege. Venus Williams.
Wow, I learned so much. That's normal. Good to know. Thank you so much for everyone being here tonight. Thank you for supporting something that's so important, because guess what? We're women in the room, but if you're not a woman in the room, then you have a mother, you have a daughter, you have sisters, you have women in your life that you love. So this conversation is just as much for the men as it is for the women. There's a lot of us who don't know what's normal because no one's talking about it. There's no education around it. And in my own case too, I was so lucky and fortunate to be able to see Dr. Shirazian and for her to change my life. And after what I went through, we talked and we said, we got to take this to another level. And that's our mission, is to educate people, right? Because that's first. If we're able to educate people, then they know what they're going through isn't normal, right? And then they're able to also tell their daughters. And as they go through that, that's like only kind of in this. And also, we're able to treat sooner. And not only does that help with quality of life, but it also helps the prevention. If you're able to stop it sooner before it gets to something that requires a lot more invasive procedures. In my own case, I was going through something that wasn't this at all. And from a very young age as well. And as you know, if you didn't know, I'm a professional tennis player. It was 2016 and Serena was playing a Wimbledon final, and incidentally we're in the doubles final, which was happening just right after. And I was trying to get ready and warm up for the doubles, and I was just in so much pain. And then I tried to eat after, I couldn't eat. And then I was at Serena's match, just, taking, Advil. Then I'd switch to Tylenol. Nothing would stop the pain. And all of a sudden, everybody jumped up and the match was over. I didn't even realize it was match point. I was so out of it. And then I was in the locker room just laying on the floor. And I was just like, it's going to pass, it's going to pass, it's going to pass. And Serena came in and she got the doctor. Thank God she got the doctor. Sisters, someone was thinking, they gave me some medicine. And the next thing I know, I was up on my feet again. And, well, my opponents probably didn't like that. But But I was able to hold my side in the court. But I'm the big sister, so even though she's won a few more majors than me, I'm still the big sister. So I'm still the leader of the team. So the leader had to be there. So things were getting very bad for me, and things started to change when I saw an ad on Instagram. And this ad started talking about the symptoms that I had: lots of pain, extremely long cycles, much more heavier than I'd ever want to go into detail here. But if you know, you know. And I'd gone to the doctor and they told me it was normal. I knew I had fibroids, but they said, go watch them. It was nothing. Oh, we'll get an ultrasound, we'll watch them. I didn't associate fibroids with my symptoms. I had no idea that fibroids had symptoms. I talked to my doctor. He said, oh, it's just part of your age. So I just thought it was normal because that's what I had been taught. I didn't know one thing. So here comes Instagram, and the Instagram said, you don't have to live this way. And I'll never forget where I was. I was with my mom, and I got so excited. I was like, wow. I started doing research immediately. And then I came upon NYU, and I saw that the Fibroid Center for Care was very comprehensive. And I looked at other programs too, and it said it was a fibroid center, but when I looked, it was not a center. It was, I'm sure, wonderful doctors. But it wasn't like this. You can see it was real. I went through all the information. I watched every video. I read every page. And it was a Saturday. I was like this for Monday. It's like, is it time to call yet? Is it time to call yet? Because I didn't know that I could live a better life.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm Dr. Tara Shirazian. I'm the director of the Center for Fibroid Care at NYU Langone Health. I remember the first time that I met Venus, and she was in my exam room. I walked into the exam room, and she got up, which of course, I'm bird up with down. So immediately I was like, what? Oh my God, yeah. And she extended her hand and warmly and enthusiastically shook my hand and said, I want to help you educate and empower women around fibroid disease. She literally said those words to me. I don't know if she remembers, but that was the very first thing she said. And I remember being taken back at that moment. I felt honestly so humbled because, I had yet to do anything for her. I had yet to treat her. I had yet to help her. I had yet to even hear her story. Can you believe that one of the most amazing tennis players in the world cannot get good care for her fibroid disease? Does that not make you angry? Because it makes me angry. Yeah. To me, that's really the point of this, right? I have heard thousands of stories from women that come into my office every day, and they tell me they've only been offered hysterectomy or nothing. You can either take your uterus out or you can just watch it. I mean, what types of choices are those? No one wants those choices, right? And I've heard those stories everywhere from the state-of-the-art city here in New York, and even in the far remote corners of the world, women also feel that they are not seen and heard. So everywhere the message is the same. Women feel they can't get quality health care and that no one is listening. Well, we are listening, and we won't stop. At NYU Center for Fibroid Care, you will find all aspects of care represented. We have wellness and nutrition. We have medical, surgical, and alternative care. We have mental health, and we have long-term follow-up. Because we care about our patients. We understand that women have life goals and they have priorities, and that no one management works for every woman. No two women are the same. And I think that's really what we have to push for in medicine, right? Personalized healthcare. Every patient deserves to be seen and heard, and everyone deserves to have every option for treatment. So tonight you have the opportunity to support this important cause, and there is no better embodiment of female power and strength than Venus Williams. She has forever changed the game of tennis, as I hoped to change just a little bit the future of how women's healthcare is practiced. And that future involves research, right? We need to be pushing the envelope in terms of research. We need more basic science research. Why do some women suffer from more aggressive disease and others from mild disease? What are these answers? We need to be doing more research and pushing that envelope. We want to serve as the best model of healthcare for the country and the globe. We will uplift and empower women and share their stories through our amazing ambassador, Venus Williams. We will lead and change the conversation. Stay tuned.